man was arrested in Alabama in connection with the murder of another man outside a bar in Central El Paso. What he's being charged with and what investigators know so far. Then efforts to fund the government have hit a new roadblock. We do have an update on the state of negotiations. And it looks like we may start to see a little bit of fall-like weather, but the question is, when? Robert?
Well, that would be tomorrow with our first cool front of the season. How cool will we get? And will we see a couple of drops of rain with that front? I'm going to have your detailed forecast. We're live on KTSM 9+, and your news starts right now.
You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, our digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We're going to start off with an update. A man arrested Monday in connection to the murder of another man earlier this year outside a bar in Central El Paso. Now, this right here, who you're seeing on your screen, is 38-year-old Terrence Matthews, and police say he was arrested in Alabama on a murder warrant after 31-year-old Damian Arce was shot and killed outside of Chit Chat Bar on June 1st. Now, as we've previously told you, at 1 a.m. on Sunday, June 1st, officers were on a bar check at the Chit Chat Bar on Dyer Street when a gunshot rang out. Upon investigating, officers found Arce with a gunshot wound in the parking lot. Now, he was rushed to the local hospital where he later died. And according to police, Arce was involved in a fight with another man and for unknown reasons was shot. Matthews was extradited to El Paso and booked into the El Paso County Detention Facility under a $1 million bond. Well, 5 teenagers were hurt in a shooting Monday evening at an East El Paso apartment. Now, according to El Paso police, a person shot into a group of people, hitting some of the teens. Their ages range from 15 to 17 years old. 4 had non-life-threatening injuries, and 1 was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. Now, officers say one person, a 15-year-old, has been arrested. Now, the investigation does continue as El Paso Police Department officials say multiple units are working on this case.
At this time, we have crimes against persons, the gang unit, and as well as crime scene unit. Now, the investigators, the detectives are here gathering information, and as more information becomes available, then at that time I'll be putting out a press release with more information.
Our newsroom, of course, continues to follow this case closely, and we'll make sure to bring you any updates on air and online. Well, Texas is seeing an increase in children without a seatbelt dying in car crashes. And to combat this, the Texas Department of Transportation is hosting educational events. Now, this is all part of National Child Passenger Safety Week, which runs through September 27th. And according to TxDOT, one of the most effective ways to protect children is to make sure they are secured in a car seat every time they ride in a car. Now, there will be 2 events this week. The first car seat check is tomorrow at the Agua Dulce Community Center from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. And the second one is scheduled for Saturday at Fox Acura from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And both events are free, and you must bring your ID, your child, and their car seat. Well, health officials across the globe are rejecting President Trump's warning that pregnant women should limit the use of Tylenol over unsubstantiated claims of a link to autism. Now, Trump made that announcement yesterday saying, quote, "Don't take Tylenol, don't take it. Fight like hell not to take it." End quote. But a range of experts worldwide noted that there was no conclusive evidence to support the possible association between autism and acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol and other widely used medications. Now, there is no new evidence to warrant a change in guidance.
Study after study has actually shown that there's no causal link with Tylenol and pregnancy and autism.
Gold standard research, 25 years, 2.5 million kids, no association.
Now, the Trump administration also announced a new $50 million effort to turbocharge autism research. And while the FDA is set to approve the prescription drug as a treatment for autism symptoms, though medical experts say there's little evidence that it works. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick pause from all of today's headlines and take a look outside, because you know what? People are also talking about today. We are seeing a little more clouds than we were seeing yesterday, and it still kind of feels a little warm out there. But Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis says, hey, we might see some change very soon.
Yeah, it's pretty hot still and very muggy today. You can feel that humidity outside. So when does fall finally arrive, really, and where we'll feel it? Well, that comes in overnight tonight with a little cool front. Yeah, 93 degrees is the temperature at the airport right now. Winds, they are the key to the story tonight. They're coming in from the southwest at about 5 miles per hour, 2.55, so very juicy. But we're going to watch these winds shift in the night tonight. Not until around midnight, give or take. Well, those winds begin to flow in from the east, and then the west siders will feel it much of the day tomorrow. But the good news is the temperatures drop down. In fact, high temperature tomorrow at the pass will only be about 67 degrees. Now, that cool front that comes in overnight tonight, in addition to the heat today, could act as a trigger for some isolated area showers and thunderstorms. Not a tremendous chance tonight, but a chance nonetheless. And we're watching similar thunder showers up there in central New Mexico. Here's a quick look at your day tomorrow. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies, cooler winds, and a high temperature of only 82 degrees. I'm going to have your detailed forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. I do want to take you guys outside now using our touch-stop cameras, and this is what it looks like. I-10 Piedras, you are seeing a little bit of congestion out there, so if you're about to hit those roads, just know you may see a little bit of slow and go traffic in this part of the city, so make sure you take extra time as you head on out your door. Well, first at 4, a new study by AAA reveals nearly all drivers experience aggressive driving, with 96% of drivers admitting to driving aggressively themselves. From speeding to tailgating to cutting off other vehicles, aggressive driving has become a near universal experience. Now, the study found that the more drivers are exposed to aggressive behavior on the road, the more likely they are to drive aggressively themselves. Now, the study also found that 11% of drivers admitted to violent actions such as intentionally bumping another car or confronting another driver. AAA encourages drivers to prioritize courtesy and safety to help curb aggressive driving. Well, in national news, a looming deadline to fund the government. And in today's Political Minute, News Nation's Mike Viqueira has an update on the state of negotiations.
Efforts to fund the government hit a new roadblock. I'm Mike Viqueira, News Nation Washington Bureau Chief. Federal government funding set to expire 1 week from Tuesday, and Republicans are pushing a plan to fund the government at current levels. But Democrats criticizing the bill for not extending expiring health care subsidies. President Trump canceling a meeting this week with Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, calling Democrats' demands unserious and ridiculous. Writing on social media, I have decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive. Both Schumer and Jeffries responding, Senate Minority Leader Schumer saying Democrats are ready to work to avoid a shutdown. Trump and Republicans are holding America hostage. Donald Trump will own the shutdown. Republicans hold a slim majority in both houses of Congress and will need some Democratic votes in the Senate to keep the government running. I'm Mike Viqueira, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
Well, President Trump says pregnant women should not take Tylenol. We're going to go over your opinions in today's In the Comments segment. Then next, our media group-owned ABC stations will not resume airing Jimmy Kimmel Live. We're going to tell you why a little later in our newscast. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
saves you thousands while keeping jobs here in the USA. Shop us now at hottubsusa.com.
Welcome to In the Comments segment. And as we told you earlier in the newscast, President Donald Trump, he made an announcement yesterday about his administration's latest findings on autism, focusing on the use of acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, and other widely used medications by pregnant women. Take a listen.
They are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's for instance, in cases of extremely high fever.
Now, following this announcement, a range of experts worldwide noted that there was not conclusive evidence to support the possible association between autism and acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol. And they go on to say that there is no new evidence to warrant a change in guidance. Now, we did share this story to all of our social media accounts, and many of you had lots you wanted to share. And we're going to begin with Edward, who writes, "A lot said, but as long as no one is sure what causes autism, it's easy to throw out other information, right or wrong." Meanwhile, Liz Martinez writes, "I was unaware that our president was a MD and has studied medicine. The more you know." And this Instagram user right here says, "Taking anything chemically while pregnant is not good, so he's not wrong." And here at KTSM, of course, we do value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Well, up next, for the very first time in half a century, American astronauts will orbit the moon. We have new details on the 10-day mission a little later in our newscast. This is KTSM 9+.
.edu and enroll today. Don't give up. Rise up at Western Tech, college for the real world.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. Now, fall officially began yesterday afternoon, so let's get a cool front in here overnight tonight, and we're going to feel the difference for our Wednesday. It is 89 degrees in Las Cruces, partly cloudy skies, dew point 51. You can feel that mugginess in the air, and this cool front that comes in from the east does not really alter that. It's got some moisture with it, so it's not really trading one moist air mass for a dry air mass, so it'll be humid again tomorrow, even though it'll be cooler. 89 Las Cruces, 93 El Paso so far, 95 Juarez, and 90 for Deming. Those are the high temperatures today. Not official yet. Here are the other highs. Look how hot it is through the heart of Texas. 100 Austin, 100 Laredo, but only 77 up in Amarillo so far, as cooler air will flow right down through the Panhandle in the night tonight and then sweep in through the east side of El Paso. West Siders, get ready because you'll have the stronger gusts on Wednesday. Winds to about 25 miles per hour at the airport. Here are the winds right now. Very light, calm Alamogordo, 3 Deming, 7 miles per hour at the pass. I'm going to be watching these winds out here to the east tonight. By 10 o'clock tonight, I do expect them to be gusting out there to between 20 and 30 miles per hour. So join us at 10 and we'll look at this front as it arrives. You've got the usual cluster of thunder showers up here in southern central New Mexico. They are spawned by the mountains of the Gila Wilderness, so they're on their way over toward Ruidoso, where they got rain yesterday. They're under a flood watch up in Ruidoso. Down here, it's almost exactly the same pattern, real quiet between Las Cruces and El Paso, and it may stay quiet, but we do have a couple of triggers. One, we're fairly warm today. Atmosphere is unstable, so though it's quiet right now, I'm going to keep a chance of a little isolated shower or thunderstorm in the forecast. In addition to that, we have the cool front coming in overnight tonight. That could act as a chance of showers trigger, so we'll watch that as well. Here are the temperatures in your area right now. Expect those temperatures to be cooler tomorrow by about 10 degrees or so as that cool front moves in. Here is your exclusive 9-hour forecast for your Wednesday. Will be partly cloudy to mostly cloudy at moments, and here it is. High temperature only 82 degrees. East winds gusting to about 25 miles per hour, translating into stronger gusts over on the western slopes of the mountains. Your allergy forecast, wish this was better, but not good. 12s for the next 3 days. Here are your low temperatures tonight, going down to 63 Alamogordo, 56 at the pass, 62 for Van Horn, and then look at these highs. Alamogordo at 79, 67 at the pass, 75 Van Horn, but 86 out in Deming. Now coming up, I'll have your exclusive 9-day forecast. We'll talk about the cool front and then storm chances for the end of the week. You stay with KTSM.
I'm Monica Cortez, and you're watching KTSM 9 News. Welcome back, everyone. Nexstar Media Group owned ABC stations will not resume airing Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now, this announcement comes as Disney brings the program back nationally tonight. And Kimmel was suspended last week after making what ABC called ill-timed and insensitive comments in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, and after FCC Chair Brendan Carr threatened to take action against Disney and ABC over Kimmel's remarks. Now, Nexstar joins Sinclair, another major local TV operator, saying it will not air Jimmy Kimmel's show. Together, Nexstar and Sinclair account for about 70 ABC affiliates, meaning Kimmel's return will not be available over broadcast to tens of millions in the U.S. Well, from our DC newsroom, in just a few months, American astronauts will fly further into space than anyone has before. And NASA says Artemis 2 will launch early next year. Washington correspondent Vinay Simlat shows us how it'll all look.
8.8 million pounds of thrust will ferry 3 American astronauts and 1 Canadian farther past the moon than anyone has ever traveled. NASA says Artemis 2 will fly at least 5,000 miles past the moon.
When we are ready to safely launch, we are going to accelerate as much as we can to do so.
Artemis 2 is scheduled to fly in April of 2026, but Tuesday, NASA's acting associate director Lakeisha Hawkins says it could be earlier.
That window could open as early as the 5th of February.
She says NASA will launch when the SLS rocket and Orion capsule are ready. Once the astronauts get into orbit, NASA says they'll practice maneuvers with the capsule. Then, in the middle of the night, the crew will get a wake-up call to set the course for the moon.
Unfortunately, physics cannot be defied. They'll get up, they'll do the burn, and then they'll go back to sleep again.
From the far side of the moon, they'll use its gravitational pull to slingshot back to Earth.
We did that on Apollo 8 and Apollo 13.
What's different from Apollo this time, NASA will stream videos so you can watch the mission from Earth.
We do plan 24/7 coverage of the mission.
It's going to look a little grainy.
NASA says the quality of video depends on the capsule's location.
Turn us into somewhat of the Artemis generation, just as the Apollo generation.
And if this mission is successful, NASA says Artemis 3 will put people on the moon in 2027. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlat.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. We still have another half hour of news and weather coming up right after this break. Stay with KTSM 9+. Welcome back to KTSM 9 Plus. I'm Monica Cortez. Well, in case you missed it, access to capital is one of the biggest barriers for entrepreneurs starting and growing a business. But a nonprofit is stepping in to help ease the financial burden. El Paso is home to over 15,000 small businesses. And our KTSM 9 News reporter Diana Castillo, she talked with local entrepreneurs and tells us about some of the challenges that they face.
Well, in cities across the nation, small businesses are the backbone of the community. But getting started can almost feel impossible without access to funding. And El Paso is no different.
Before I couldn't do anything more than just selling to neighbors and to friends.
Alma Gonzalez is the owner of Chester, a company that caters to animals with all natural treats. She says growing her idea beyond her kitchen was a struggle, and getting traditional loans was nearly impossible.
There's a lot of competition and there's a lot of big companies out there. So when I was looking for, lenders for money, it was really hard for me to get money from the bank, from a lift fund, from everyone, from any lender.
With more than 15,000 small businesses across El Paso County, a nonprofit says it's trying to help more of them grow. Now, Just Community announced it has already invested over $1 million in local entrepreneurs. And today, they received a new $550,000 grant from the Wells Fargo Foundation to expand support for entrepreneurs.
There's truth in our U.S. financial system. It's really great at making money for people that have money. So the question is, how do you get started if you don't? For us, it all comes back to trust and the power of community to help itself when it has access to resources, support, and some simple structure to make a plan for their future.
But business owners say the real win comes when people choose to shop local.
Everybody says, let's support local. So it's important for us to know that whenever we spend $1, somebody from the community is being fed. Somebody's child is gonna have clothing. Somebody's child that maybe we know is gonna have their next pair of shoes.
The group says it's now helping 150 small business owners with a goal to grow that number into the thousands. In downtown El Paso, Diana Castillo, KTSM 9 News.
Diana, thank you. Well, in Houston, NASA introduced 10 Americans who will make up the 2025 astronaut candidate class at a Johnson Space Center event. Now, these 10 candidates made it through a competitive selection process that saw more than 8,000 applicants from across the country. The candidates will now take a part in a 2-year training program before becoming eligible for flight assignments. Yesterday's announcement comes as NASA continues to plan for Artemis II mission that will send astronauts to orbit the moon. The ultimate goal is to land astronauts on Mars in the years to come. Well, this morning, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission created an emergency rule banning the sale of consumable hemp products to Texans under the age of 21. Now, this change comes 13 days after Governor Greg Abbott's executive order demanding the TABC and the Department of State Health Services take steps to keep consumable hemp and its intoxicating chemical THC out of the hands of children. State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager reports on how this non-controversial change could set up rulemaking battles over THC.
Our votes have been recorded and the motion is approved.
Hemp retailers now required to keep their consumable products out of the hands of children.
Law is just catching up with where the industry is already at, what we're already doing.
Nick Mortellaro is a hemp shop operator who's already looking for solutions, creating his own vending machines using the iPhone's facial recognition software to prevent underage sales.
So it is extremely accurate. Doesn't matter if you cut your hair, shave, grow a beard, whatever it is, it'll know. Place my ID inside the scanner.
After verifying, the machine will allow the age-restricted product to be purchased.
Cannabis is not an ordinary commodity. It's intoxicating, it causes impaired driving.
Not everyone is satisfied with Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission's emergency rule. Betsy Jones with Texans for Safe and Drug-Free Use hopes the final rule will see no sales to those under the age of 25.
Now we know that the brain isn't ready to start making those kinds of decisions until 25.
This decision from TABC today is just the start. State Senator Charles Perry has asked DSHS and the Department of Agriculture to change the definition of hemp to ban the type Texans use to get high. Ag Commissioner Sid Miller says he's waiting to see if other Texas leaders agree.
Senator Perry's a good friend. He does a good job, but he's one legislator out of 181. So I want to make sure that the whole team has buy-in.
Perry authored the bill to ban THC products, which Governor Abbott vetoed. Mortellaro thinks Perry's attempt is an effort to circumvent Abbott's veto and hopes the agencies listen to industry leaders over politicians who tried to ban the substance. In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
Now, if a retailer knowingly sells to a minor, their license will be revoked by the TABC. Since the new rule is an emergency, it actually takes effect immediately, but must be replaced by a permanent rule within 180 days. Well, raising awareness for cancer prevention, that's the mission of a special race happening next month in Juarez. Ya Quisieras Cancer You Wish is North Mexico's largest cause-driven race. The nonprofit Se Feliz AC announced the race today. It brings together families, survivors, and supporters, and more than 5,000 people are expected this year to fill Parque Chamizal. Organizers say that it's important resource to help support cancer prevention in the area.
The reason why we want to invite the community of El Paso is because we know that not everybody in the community has the resources to do preventive medicine as they should. And if they lack resources, the foundation can help everybody as well. Plus, you know, we all have relatives living across the border who require these services.
Now, this is the 9th year Se Feliz Así has held the race. The race is set for October 5th at 8 a.m. And for more information about this race, just simply visit KTSM.com. Well, switching gears, let's go ahead and take a quick look outside using our tower camera, and this is what we are seeing. So quite a bit of those cumulus clouds kind of spread out across our skies. The question is, are we seeing rain tonight? And when is it going to stop being so hot? Let's go ahead and send things over to Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis.
You know, relief is on the way.
Finally.
And a relief may arrive somewhere between midnight and 2 a.m., give or take.
I'm okay with that.
You know I love to give that give or take there. Give me a little latitude on the timing. Here are the winds right now, Monica, and the winds will tell the story tonight because they will shift abruptly in the night, overnight tonight, coming in from the east. So West Siders, get ready. Stronger gusts for you as our first cool front of the fall season comes on through. But not at this point. 6 mile per hour breeze at the pass, 5 at the airport, 7 miles per hour Las Cruces, and calm down in Juarez. 93 is the temperature at the airport right now. We need some relief from this heat. We are about 6 degrees above normal at that temperature, and we're about to cool down. About 10 degrees tomorrow. A look at the satellite radar composite. Like yesterday, we have a chance of little isolated showers or thunderstorms cropping up in the area just because of the afternoon heat. But then when that cool front arrives, that will also act as a potential trigger for a couple of little isolated showers here or there. Now here's a quick look ahead. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies, cooler winds, windy west side, high temperature 82. Doesn't that sound good? And then we'll start to warm back up with those thunder showers returning by the end of the week. I'm going to have your detailed forecast in just a bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, the president is expected to sign a deal to save popular video app TikTok this week. But details about the emerging deal with China is prompting both praise and concern. Our DC's Raquel Martin has the latest from Washington.
For all of those that want to save TikTok in America, vote for Trump.
It's a campaign promise the president's set to deliver on any day now. The White House says it's finalizing a long-awaited deal with China to keep TikTok available in the U.S.
The president will be signing the official deal later this week.
According to the framework, TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance would lease its algorithm to a group of U.S. buyers, a step the Trump administration says will protect the data of TikTok's 170 million American users.
Be stored securely in the United States without access from China.
Last year, lawmakers almost unanimously agreed TikTok must be either sold or banned for national security reasons.
Do you believe that this will be legal?
It does appear that it would be in compliance with the law.
Virginia Tech professor Casey Myers does not expect pushback from Congress.
What the company is providing is a copy of the algorithm that then gets maintained by these U.S.-based companies. The user experience, it seems, would be the same.
But other scholars are not so sure. Among TikTok's potential new U.S. owners, conservative media mogul Rupert Murdoch.
It appears that Trump has given control of a media empire to his own allies.
Paul Schiff Berman is a law professor at George Washington University.
That's certainly a problem from a free speech point of view.
China has yet to sign the deal. It's unlikely to go into effect until early next year. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
And on Monday, chip maker NVIDIA and OpenAI announced a partnership between the two of the highest profile leaders in AI. NVIDIA is planning to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI and will deploy at least 10 gigawatts of NVIDIA chips to their infrastructure. The partnership will be finalized in the next few weeks, and the first phase is targeted to come online late 2026. Now, in a statement, OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman said that they will be utilizing what they are building with NVIDIA to both create new AI breakthroughs and empower people and businesses with them at scale. NVIDIA also invested billions in OpenAI back in 2024, which could lead to antitrust scrutiny. However, last year, the Justice Department and FTC made a deal clearing the way for potential antitrust investigations into Microsoft, OpenAI, and NVIDIA's role in the AI industry. Well, coming up, make sure you're checking your freezer because shrimp sold in 31 states were recalled over radioactive threats. What some of you had to say in our In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
Lee Trevino.
We win big. We are Glasheen Vias Ninderman. Injury.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Welcome back, everyone. Now that our weather is expected to get cooler, you may want to step out into nature. The Franklin Mountain State Park has released their October hiking program. So, starting off the month with the Women Hike to West Cottonwood Springs, it's open to women of all experience levels who are excited to spend time exploring the beautiful Chihuahuan Desert. This is a moderately difficult trail of about 3 miles, or you can test yourself against some of the most difficult hikes in the Franklin Mountain State Park. This is a newly reopened trail, a very strenuous hike of about 4 miles. Or you can hike out to the El Paso tin mines, remains of the mining operation from the early 1900s. This is a moderate to difficult hike of about 6 miles round trip. And lastly, join a park ranger on a guided hike through the western foothills of the Franklin Mountains. This easy 1.5-mile trail. After the hike, you can actually participate in some spooky games at the park's visitor center. And make sure you're reserving for all of this. And for more information, just head on over to KTSM.com. How fun!
That does sound fun.
Right, it's starting to feel, okay, finally, it's starting to feel a little more seasonal.
Yeah.
Fall usually means really nice hiking weather, right?
It does. Now, hiking is the one thing I've never heard you mention.
I know, so I have these hiking boots.
You do?
Yes, I bought them like 2 years ago. I really need an excuse to use them.
Go to the tin mine.
Yes?
It's fun.
Okay.
And it's not hard to find. It's up on the other side of the Franklin Mountains over there.
How
and you go in
fun.
there and it's like a little old mine.
Okay, I'm definitely going to give that a try. That sounds
Don't go
amazing.
too far back. It's kind of creepy.
Okay.
Okay. Let's take a look at the stats right now. Now, we have a partly cloudy skies outside right now, and we're at 93 degrees at the International Airport. Here's a look at our tower cam at this point. We can expect a chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight, but the most important thing tonight is that the winds are going to shift. They'll come in from the east and northeast at about 10 to 25 miles per hour, so west siders, get ready. Slightly stronger gusts on the western slopes, and we're going to get this temperature down about 10 degrees tomorrow. I'm expecting a high of about 82. So here comes your exclusive 9-hour forecast. High temperature 82 degrees with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Should be on the dry side, but again, a little windy on the western slopes. I don't think people will mind to get some relief from these temperatures. These are still very much summer-like temperatures at 90 at the pass, 89 Las Cruces, 90 Deming, and 95 Juarez. High temperatures today. Now look at the difference. Notice it's 100 Austin, 100 Laredo, 99 San Angelo, but only 77 in Amarillo and 78 in Albuquerque as cooler air begins to descend upon the borderland. And we're going to feel that overnight tonight. These winds will shift direction. Right now they're very light, but at about midnight, give or take an hour or so, that's when the first advance front will begin to come through, and you'll feel it on the western slopes. Still have a chance of heat-driven isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight. Atmosphere fairly unstable, so we'll have at least a slight chance of something popping this evening. And in addition to that, when the cool front comes in, that could also act as a trigger for some little isolated showers here or there overnight tonight. So not a great rain chance, but a chance. Here are the temperatures right now in your area. We'll expect the high temperatures to be about 10 or more degrees cooler for a little relief tomorrow. Here comes your allergy forecast. 12s across the board the next 3 days. Your forecast for Las Cruces tonight. 64 with again that chance of isolated area showers. Expect a high temperature tomorrow of 83 degrees with again we'll see mostly cloudy skies and cooler winds. 67 low temperature tonight at the International Airport. Also that chance of little isolated showers, and then tomorrow 82 as we finally cool down. Now only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Thursday, chance of isolated storms and 87. 89 on Friday with isolated thunder showers possible that day. Will be cloudy on Saturday with a few drops here or there. Few scattered showers possible on Sunday at 84. And then we'll dry out and warm back up starting Monday 85, back up to 90 by Wednesday of next week. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take you guys outside now using our tech stock cameras, and this is what we are seeing. So over 85,000 bags of shrimp are being recalled for, this is I-10 Yarborough, and you can actually tell that things are moving quite nicely in both directions. Not a lot to slow you down. All right, let's talk about that shrimp now. So this is in our comment segment. So we've seen quite a bit of bags of shrimp being recalled for potential contamination. This is marking the latest products to be impacted by a radioactive threat. Now, in a recall notice published, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said that 3 varieties of shrimp sold at Kroger stores in 31 states may actually be contaminated with a product of nuclear fission and is used in medical devices and gauges. Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention explains that it can also be used to gauge the flow of liquid through pipes and is present in the environment from weapons testing in the 1950s and 1960s. All right, so we did share the story on all of our social media accounts, and well, many of you guys had lots of thoughts you wanted to share. We're going to start off with Vic, who says anytime they recall something, it's probably healthy and they forgot to add the poison. Christian writes, that's what happens when the U.S. be testing nukes in the ocean. And Mark writes, I guess I'll be able to jumpstart a car with my fingers. All right, so even though El Paso doesn't have any Krogers, you might actually want to spread the word to your friends and family that actually live in areas where there are Krogers. There's actually some in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and several other cities in Texas. And here, of course, at KTSM, we do value your opinion and we do want to hear more from you. So make sure that you are following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. This is KTSM 9+.
Más Las Cruces.
Hi, I'm Las Cruces Utilities Water Conservation Specialist Molly New.
And I'm Rhonda Diaz, Water Conservation Program Coordinator for the City of Las Cruces. We're here to invite you to the Fall Lush and Lean Workshops at a new location here at City Hall Council Chambers. Please come out and join us for these workshops that help you learn gardening and yard landscape that helps you conserve water.
Fall Lush and Lean classes will be held in October. Our first one beginning October 9th with Dr. Stephanie Walker. She's the NMSU Vegetable Garden Specialist, and she'll be sharing strategies for successful vegetable gardening. The next day we're going to follow that up at the Pioneer Women's Park. That will be 1 to 6 p.m. It's a family fun planting event. We'll be providing seeds, planting materials so you can have those fall and winter veggies going and then plant them in the garden when they sprout. Did forget to mention 5:30 to 7:30 is our Thursday evening Lush and Lean sessions.
Come and join us for these dynamic presentations.
Conserve water, Las Cruces.
Más Las Cruces.
week at noon and 4 p.m. on KTSM 9 News. Sponsored by El Paso Electric.
Here's the last look at the forecast. A little cool front for our Wednesday. High temperature going down to 82 degrees. A little windy at times on the western slopes with partly cloudy skies. We'll see a return of the isolated area thunderstorms. Hit or miss on Thursday, 87. Better chance of isolated thunder showers on Friday. And then cloudy for the weekend with high temperatures only in the 80s. We're going to clear out starting on Monday, and then we warm back to 90 by the middle of the week. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, that's it for me. I'm Monica Cortez. See you all tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. 9 News Now is up next.